morning, goddammit. Pissing a day 228. Fuck. What day? Shoulders. So you're seeing me doing shoulders. Left arm slowly getting there. It's looking a little bigger. It's not looking so dystrophied anymore. It's being a bit stronger too. 20 kilos. Not the best. Not superb. You know, not terrible either though, right? But slowly, give it another month or two. I don't know, whatever. I keep saying that, but fucking hopefully another month or two, I'm back to square even. Because this arm is fucking, it's making my training shit, which is kind of the topic today. But you'll see in a second, I'm doing this press with 20 kilos on my left arm, and then I switch to my right, and it's a warm up, and it's like really fucking light. I think part of the problem is I can't flex my bicep, so you need your bicep a lot for presses to stabilize. Otherwise, it's just so unstable. You're working uphill essentially. And then also, like, if you press one arm at a time, you're way weaker. Because normally, my right arm, which isn't injured, it would be doing 40 kilos if I could do them both at the same time. But when you're stabilizing the weight from falling to the side, or your whole body from falling to the side, you can't do as much weight too. So it's partially not enough stabilization from your bicep. My tricep and shoulders are weak as shit from, just dystrophy. And then it's bilateral, so you're weaker. Anyway, kind of point of the video is all that sucks, right? Being weaker on one side and, the last 3 months of recovering from the bicep tear surgery and shit has been shit. And training hasn't been that fun, really. It's been pretty boring for a lot of it. And at the start of it, it was especially shit. It's starting to get a bit more stimulating nowadays. But right now I'm in limbo. The only area that's progressively overloading is my legs, which is great. At least some areas are great. And I'll get to that in a second. You can still have fun with training even in the worst of times. But the thing is, training isn't always going to be fun. Training isn't always going to be fucking, flowers and rainbows. And sometimes there's going to be life circumstances that make it especially shit, like an injury. Or maybe you have depression. Or maybe you're fucking mad busy with work or whatever. Training isn't always going to be fun. And you're going to want to not do it. You're just going to be like, well, what's the fucking point? And I've thought that a few times. But the point is, one day it will be fun again for whatever life circumstance. Maybe you find the right type of training for you. Maybe your life changes, whatever. But when it becomes fun again, you're going to be a lot more happy with the fact that you stuck to it rather than give up and then have to start square one all over again. You're going to have even more fun when it is fun again if you have a decent baseline to work with. Right? I've lost a bit of strength and muscle for the last 3 months just because my training hasn't been great. I mean, my legs, again, have gains, but the upper body, not so much. Sure as shit, lost a lot of muscle on my left torso just because I haven't been able to train it optimally, but that's okay. I've at least maintained enough muscle, plenty of muscle and strength, that is, that in, say, a month or two when I start full-on training properly again, I'll be pretty close to where I was, say, 4 months ago when my strength and physique was at its best ever, right? Or, well, maybe not the best ever, but pound for pound best ever, right? Because I've been heavier and done powerlifting before, but I digress. If you give up and you do go back to training, you're gonna be like, fuck, man, why didn't I just do, like, at the very least, maintenance work? Because the thing is, you can just do maintenance work, which is what I've basically been doing in the upper body. And you don't really need much at all for that. And if you're not that big and strong yet, what is maintenance work for me would make you get big and strong anyway. So, like, if, let's say, for example, you're fucking mad busy, your wife, you got kids, you got job, you're just fucking hella busy, right? And you can't train 4 or 5 days, 6 days a week like everyone says you should. That doesn't have to say that you can't still make gains, or at the very least, if you're more advanced and have a decent amount of muscle, maintain by just doing, say, full body, high intensity workout once a week. If you don't have an hour to do just one set per body part once a week, then, I mean, fuck it, man, give up then, man. You're that fucking lazy and that pathetic, then so be it. But if you can do that, then do that. Because full body, high intensity once a week is sufficient for, at the very least, maintaining a great physique. And in many cases, it will still make you gain a bunch of muscle and strength anyway. A good example of this would be a client of mine. He's been coming to me for about 2.5 years now. And after 2.5 years, he's built a lot of muscle and strength. And he feels a lot better. He looks a lot better on all these different things. But the other day he said to me, he's like, if I'm honest, man, I'm pretty bored with the training nowadays. It's just that doesn't really do it for me anymore. Like it's no longer, the novelty's run off. And this client is more of a friend nowadays than just a client. I'm actually like friends with this man. And I said, look, dude, that's how it is. Sometimes training isn't fucking fun anymore, especially if it isn't your passion. It's not my passion. It's not, sorry, not his passion. It is my passion. For him, it's not his passion. So it's not as fun anymore. So that's just how it is. Like eventually, training is just going to be part of a habit. It's going to be like brushing your teeth for many people. It's not everyone's die-hard habit where they have it for life. And I said also, I mean, obviously as his personal trainer, I said I'll do my absolute best to change the programming up. Maybe we switch to powerlifting. Maybe we switch to, I don't know, fucking calisthenics. Maybe we would do a bit of boxing. Let's just try some other avenues to see if we can make it fun, which is going to be part of this video too, making it fun. But first and foremost is understanding that sometimes it's just not going to be that fun for periods of time. You might be having things going on else in your life, like he does, that fucks with your mental state and makes you not want to train or do anything. So, but the point being is you just have to do it anyway. You just got to man up. You got to eat a fucking spoon of concrete. And this client, I basically said all that. And because we're friends, he was like, yeah, you're right. Like, he's not a pussy. He was like, yeah, I guess so. Like, let's just keep doing it. And I don't think he's going to give up, because I think he understands that regardless if he's enjoying it, the fact is, he doesn't want to have a hip replacement in 20 years. He doesn't want to feel like shit and look like shit and be unrespected by his kids and all these different fucking things. So, of course, he's just going to keep doing it. And that's why I've been doing it. I haven't been enjoying my training that much lately, but I do it because if you don't do it, you're just going to look like shit and feel like shit and have no baseline to work with when you get back into it. And the thing is, as shit as your training might be, you can still have fun with it. When I first got injured, when I tore my bicep, I went, fuck this, I'm buying a hack squat machine. Because when I get a hack squat machine, my leg day at least, which is the only day that's been remotely efficient since the injury, apart from maybe training neck and calves, which again is part of legs anyway, it is the only day I can train efficiently. So fuck it, I'm gonna buy a hack squat machine. I'm gonna spend some money to have fun with it. So I bought the hack squat machine. Lo and behold, I started training legs, and I was having way more fun training legs with a hack squat machine. Because if you know anything about me, I fucking hate normal squats. Couldn't do normal squats, and I obviously couldn't do deadlifts or anything like that anyway. Bought the hack squat. Not only was I having more fun, I was getting more gains because machines are superior to fucking free weights anyway. And that was the catalyst for me, still at least enjoying some aspect of my training. And then I bought Smith machine recently, and that was another aspect of it. And so there are ways of having fun. Maybe, I mean, obviously not everyone has the resources that I have to buy a bunch of fucking training machines. Maybe you already have a commercial gym and you have every machine available, and that's no longer a novelty for you. Well, it might be training in a different style. If you're doing push-pull legs, maybe do upper lower. Maybe do full body to save time. Maybe do a full-on like bro split. Try different things. Try different rep ranges. I mean, like some of these things might not even be conducive or it's best for hypertrophy. For the very least, if you're absolutely fucking melancholy, melatonin, anhedonia, fucking bored out of your skull, fucking training, then just do maintenance or just do the absolute minimum effective dose for hypertrophy. You might not get optimal gains, but you can't do optimal training anyway because you're too fucking bored and tired or lazy or busy or whatever anyway. So then in that case, do a full body once a week. If you're that guy that has you have a wife, kids and all that shit, full body once a week. Simple as. You still make some decent gains, or at the very least maintain your good physique. And a lot of people, let's say you're doing like fucking push-pull legs twice a week with a whole shit ton of volume, and then all of a sudden you go from high school, say you're doing that in high school, and then you go to university, you don't have time for that anymore. A lot of times when you switch to the more simplistic approach and the massive recovery approach of high intensity, once or twice a week, let's say upper, lower, or full body, you make better gains anyway because you won't have to do all this complicated auto-regulation on periodization form volume training. So, if you're like fucking burnt out, it might even be that. You're just training too much and your central nervous system's burnt and you're fucking bored. But point is, you can always train no matter what in some way, form, or fashion. So just fucking do it. Be a man. Don't be a fucking lazy piece of shit. Peace out, boy.